Welcome to the first ever DNC recording of the Are You Effing Kidding Me podcast. Democratic Party Chair for the state of Wisconsin, Ben Wikler. Hi.
From Jerz, it's so great to be with you in real life. This is amazing. We're in 3D.
It's crazy.
We're 40. Here we are moving through time. I mean, unbelievable.
What a wild ride this has been, huh?
Yeah. No, it turns out that time is a very real dimension that can slow down and speed up, and a decade's going to happen in a week. It's just a totally wild moment.
Right. I feel like, let's say since the debate, I feel like it's been 400 years, but in a few months period of time, and everything has changed.
Everything has changed. And the thing that I want to hold in everyone's mind is that everything can change again. We do not know what the future holds, and that means that when you have energy, you turn it into the work that wins elections. That is our job right now, is to take this joy and this enthusiasm and then use that to fuel us to go out and knock on doors, to go through our contact list and find anyone in a swing state who might miss an election sometimes or might not know who to vote for. Like, this is go time.
Yeah.
And Republicans know that. They're running ads all the time in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. We've got to be in go mode too.
Yeah, well, you often say, and as I say too, where Wisconsin goes, the country goes. Wisconsin is the purplest, right? It's a very, very purple state, like your tie.
Yes.
But you've also shown with a massive amount of success that with your organizing, that you can make huge impacts electorally in your state. I mean, Janet Protasiewicz, for example, I love saying her name because I'm so proud that I can say it.
Nail it, it's amazing.
Thank you so much. These two ballot amendments that failed. Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So we are less than a week out from an election in Wisconsin that was supposed to be a Republican cakewalk. So Republicans have this strategy of passing constitutional amendments. We're not like Michigan, where citizens can add their signature to get something on the ballot. In Wisconsin, the only way to amend the Constitution or have any kind of ballot referendum is for the state legislature to pass it through back-to-back state legislative sessions. And Republicans rigged our state legislature. They gerrymandered the map, so only Republicans can put forward constitutional amendments. Now, that's about to change because we defeated the gerrymander because we have a new progressive state Supreme Court majority that struck down those bad maps. So this fall, we could actually flip our state assembly in 1 year, which is so exciting, and break the Republican supermajority in the state Senate. But until this moment, it's just been the GOP that is messing with our Constitution. And most of those pass because most people do not know what is happening with these amendments. They're intentionally written in a confusing way. Republicans have bragged, or Robin Vos, the Republican Assembly Speaker, has bragged that he puts the constitutional amendment votes on low turnout days with conservative electorates. And so they, this time, decided to try to do a power grab, take away the governor's authority over federal emergency funds, because they're still mad that Governor Tony Evers used the COVID emergency fund money effectively.
Yeah.
They just wanted to use it for a tax cut for rich people, which is the only thing they ever want to do.
Right.
So they decided they would amend the Constitution, give the state legislature sole authority over federal emergency funds, because guess who's really good at dealing with emergencies? Committees of the legislature.
Of course.
Yes, of course. So this was their game plan. And we did a poll in June that found that we were 10 points behind on one of these amendments, 4 points in the other one. It didn't look great. But then we went to bat. And we started organizing. And all over the state, the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, our coordinated campaign volunteers, and this amazing Wisconsin Votes No coalition with Wisconsin Conservation Voters and all these different organizations, Planned Parenthood, others, and Governor Evers and Democratic legislators, they sounded the alarm. And everyone went to vote. And I had no idea what we were going to see. And then the polls closed and returns started coming in. And we won this thing in a landslide. This was a 15-point victory. That's a 25-point swing, just to be clear.
Wow.
And we won statewide, even if you took Madison's Dane County and Milwaukee County out of Wisconsin. The rest of the state, people imagine that it's red. No, they just voted no on these constitutional amendments. We won in rural places, in suburbs, in cities, small towns, big towns. And it was a resounding, recommitment by our state to supporting a governor who's actually delivered for Wisconsin and rejecting the idea that Republicans can change the rules to lock in their own power. And it's a microcosm of what we're going to have this November, where Republicans have laid out their Project 2025. They want to basically shred the Constitution, the rule of law, to cement their power forever. And voters in Wisconsin and across America, we're going to do that organizing work, and we're going to say no, and we're going to end the Trumpian menace, and we're going to elect Harrison Walz. That is the way that Wisconsin feels at this moment, and you can see it in the numbers that this is very real.
I love it. And you know what? You see in state after state after state that the information that is being kind of intentionally kept from the voters, where they're doing these anti-democratic things and they don't want the voters to know about it. Once you shine a light on it and you say to the voters, hey, by the way, this is your democracy. This is your ability to have a say in shaping your your own future that they're trying to take away from you, they resoundingly reject that. But once you have to do that first, right? Like you have to cut through all of their noise and expose the truth,
Yes.
and then offer that to the voters, and they're like, hold on, I actually like my freedom. I actually like being able to participate in this democracy of ours. And you see it in Ohio in ballot 1, you see it in state after state after state, in Wisconsin time after time.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Voters don't want to have their vote taken away. It's like pretty
Shocker,
simple.
huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like the way people don't want politicians telling them what to do with their bodies. Also, it
Right.
feels like maybe freedom is actually a thing, and
Yeah.
maybe Republicans should get a clue, and
Right.
maybe we can all agree to stop messing with that stuff. And we can argue about marginal tax rates and whether you should cut taxes for billionaires or for the middle class. I have an opinion about that, but like maybe just ixnay on the taking away people's freedom
Right.
to mess up my pig Latin.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. I say this all the time. Like, let's just say Liz Cheney example, somebody like that. Liz Cheney and I can argue about everything we disagree on down the road as long as we keep this democracy intact.
Yes.
But this is really what's at stake right now, because we can't have those discussions or arguments or debates if we don't have the foundation of democracy in place.
That's exactly right. And that's one thing I love about this new moment that we're in with this election is that the threat from the far right is still just as real as it ever was. And at the same time, now we're like thinking big about what we could actually do together. We're voting for something, not just
Right.
voting against something. And we can see, I mean, I had this Minnesota envy. Painful for me to say as a Wisconsinite, with the Minnesota miracle, with Governor Walz coming in and just passing thing after thing that makes people's lives better. Governor Walz came to the Wisconsin breakfast, as I mentioned, one of the things he said is all the stuff that we're doing, all the voting, all the organizing, all the door knocks, all the donating, all that is just a means to an end. And what is that end? It is to actually help people's lives get a little bit better, to make it a little easier to raise a kid, to be able to raise the floor so people don't live in poverty and they can actually try to seek their dreams in life. And that is the point. All of politics, it's an amazing, extraordinary thing that we have this miracle of democracy. At the same time, what we do with it, what we should be trying to do with it, is to actually make things better and deliver.
Right.
And it feels like we can actually think about that, not just be stuck in this miasma of Trumpy fear,
Right.
but actually have some hope.
And I love the hope message, but it just shows what an administration values when they value making lives better, making lives easier. Like their economic plan it's all about showing the American people that they value them by making housing more affordable, extending the child tax credit, making it so that diabetics of all ages, whether they're on Medicare or not, can have the $35 insulin cap. These are life-changing.
They're life-changing things.
Right.
And how stressful is it to not have those things and be scrambling? It is the most terrifying thing when you have to decide, you sit in your car and decide whether to fill a prescription.
Right.
And it shouldn't be like that. It's not like that in other countries.
Right.
It's only like that here because the pharmaceutical industry has so much power and we can change these things.
Right.
We just have to make the decision we're actually going to do it.
Right.
So let's elect some people that are ready to do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm so excited. The hope, the optimism, the joy. I love me some Joe Biden, don't get me wrong. Same.
Absolutely.
Right? He's an incredibly consequential president, and what he's done in this moment in time will go down in history as one of the most selfless acts ever done, ever committed by any politician of all time.
Yes.
But I will say that this pivot now, this shift to this joy, this optimism, this forward-looking, like what we can do, where we can go, has really been invigorating and something amazing to witness. I'm so excited.
It's so good.
And I'm so proud to talk to you, so proud to meet you. I'm big, obviously, a big fan. I think you're doing incredible work. Anytime Wisdems needs any help, JoJo from Jerz will be there 1,000% to help you, and you help us. So let's go, Wisconsin.
1,000 thanks. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's win.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Thanks so much, JoJo.
Thank you.